Hey guys, so the topic of today, what are CLEP tests? CLEP stands for College Level Examination Program, and if you're already familiar with AP exams, they're basically the same thing, only easier. In gist, it is a test. When you pass it, you get college credit. The only difference is AP exams can only be taken by high school students, and CLEPs can be taken by anybody. So just some precursors to the exam, cost 80 bucks, and whatever the testing center will charge you. Typically it varies between $35 and $40, so you end up paying about $120 for the exam. But let's just look at this price overall, shall we? Say you're really bad at taking tests and you have an awful pass rate of 50%, which would almost never happen, and you wanted to test out of 90 credits using the CLEP method, and for some reason you decided to only take CLEPs that offered 3 credit hours worth of college credit. In other words, you'd be taking about 30 CLEP tests. Now, assuming since you have about a 50% pass rate, you'd have to take them about twice, you would take 60 CLEP tests. And if they're about $120 a piece, even with all of that, you'd still only pay $7,200 for 3 years worth of college. To put in perspective as to how much this is really lowballing it, my percentage of passing was 75%, and I took a total of about 36 tests, giving me 78 credit hours for about $4,320, which when you look at statistics is about half the price of an in-state college tuition for 3 years worth of credit. So in other words, the biggest benefit is you keep your money. Another huge benefit though is time. You only have to spend about 2 to 3 hours a day studying for a week, and then you pass the test at the end of the week. Then you move on and you pass another one. Basically just repeat this for as long as you really want to, and then you have as much college credit as you'd like. However, in a normal college, you spend 4 months taking about 4 to 7 classes in which you cram for all of them in the end because you weren't paying attention for the first 4 months anyway, and then you end up passing them 4 months after you started. Instead, take CLEPs and in 5 months test out of anywhere between 15 and 20 classes pretty easily. So now a little bit of information on CLEP tests. CLEPs are considered lower level college exams, or exams that'll help you pass the first 2 years of college. For those of you who don't know, the first 2 years of college are just basically a repeat of high school with a little bit more challenge to it. And sometimes even in my case, I had CLEP tests that applied to upper level courses that were part of my higher level degree. CLEPs are scored on a scale of about 20 to 80, which is an odd numbering system instead of 0 to 100, and the passing score is a 50, but the 50 doesn't actually equate to a 50%, even though you would think that. It actually equals somewhere more around 70%, but I could explain their really confusing scoring system in another video, which I'll leave somewhere in here. The biggest thing, it's a pass-fail exam. So whether you get the bare minimum 50 or you get the maximum of an 80, which I've never even gotten close to doing, you still pass. There's also no letter grade, and it doesn't affect your GPA in any way. It just counts as nothing. In addition, if you don't pass the exam, you can just retake it again in 3 months. It's really no big deal. So if you really need an exam, you can just retake it. It actually happened to me a few times, and my retake pass rate was about 100%. The reason why it's so high is because once you've seen the material once, you kind of just get a gist of what you need to study the next time. These tests are 100% multiple choice with 5 options on each. This is where you're probably cheer. There's no writing portions, there's no true false, there's no matching, there's nothing like that. It's only multiple choice. Now I'm going to take you to the CLEP website really quick. Something that's really misleading on here is it actually says the phrase quote-unquote testing for prior knowledge, just so you know that's not true. I personally took tests on multiple subjects that I never even studied for. For example, marketing, substance abuse, criminal law, law enforcement, history of the USSR, history of the Vietnam War, humanities, macroeconomics, calculus, German, psychology, and sociology. These tests are purposely made to be easy. And if you don't pass, it's really not a big deal at all. You can just retake it again in 3 months. Other than that, if you feel comfortable and you've been on the CLEP site and you've seen a few exams that you might be interested in taking, take them. I left a link to the CLEP website in the description below so anybody can get it. I have left many study guides in many playlists on my YouTube channel in which you can study your heart away and learn any material you would like to. So please, if you could like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to get content as soon as it becomes available, you gotta switch the notification bar to on. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and if you're interested in to see how the best way to study for these exams, you can just click here.